welcome back to another mukbang. Today I made some shakshuka. It's still hot. If you want to see the recipe, see how I made it, just check the link. I'm really hungry for this, so let's just dig in. I'm hoping I haven't overcooked the eggs because it was left to sit for a little bit. So I don't know if the yolk will still be runny. Yes, it's still a little runny. That's good news. That is so good. Whoever thought of shakshuka? Genius. It just tastes so healthy and fresh. I was meant to be going home yesterday to Bradford to visit my family. And I filmed a mukbang as well, which is still uploading actually. But there was a bit of a change in plan. My dad had been working quite a lot yesterday, and it got quite late, and he still had to drop my. He's still okay. He had to drop my sister off to work, so he couldn't come down to Sheffield to pick me up yesterday. And it was just too late. It was about 10 o'clock already, and it takes like an hour for him to get here, and then it's another hour drive back. I can't take the train either because I've got to take my snakes home with me because I'll be home for a few weeks. I don't think people would react too well if they just saw someone carrying snakes on a train. And he can't pick me up today either because there's a wedding that he's got to go to with my mum. It's her first cousin, I think. So, and that's like an hour and a half drive away for him. So it's another really long day. So he'll hopefully pick me up tomorrow instead. This is really delicious. Still steaming. I don't know if it's picking that up. I hope it is. I've made this a few times before and I love it. It's such a great brunch thing. So tasty. So I thought if I'm going home tomorrow, I'll just try to use up what I have in my fridge because I knew I still had about half a can of tomato, a bunch of fresh tomatoes, eggs, bread, so much cheese up, so why not another mukbang and recipe? And I was thinking tomorrow I might do like a full English sort of breakfast. You know what? The red onion is so good in this. I'm really enjoying it. Today I kind of just wanted to talk about like extreme diets that are the craze right now. I know everyone's going on about the keto diet, because it's helping a lot of people lose weight that they couldn't lose before and things like that. And I think that's great and all that they've found something which could finally help. The only issue I see with it, because it's such an extreme diet, I feel like it would be too hard for people to keep to and maintain that weight loss. I think that's the issue. I don't think dieting is a good idea. I think you should just have some balance there. I'm not saying I follow a perfect diet, I really don't. You know, I eat a ton of junk food, or sometimes I won't really eat well enough in a day, just loads of bread and things like that. But I'm speaking as a general, kind of a common sense thing. Random red onion skin. Another thing I notice is that when people want to lose weight, they all seem to want to follow the vegan diet. And I don't really understand that either, because it's so restrictive. I get some people follow it because I think for moral reasons and things like that. That's fine. You do you. But I don't understand it for weight loss, because I don't think it's necessarily, again, sustainable. I feel like so many people jump on the bandwagon. Did Anne Boleyn try to follow a vegan diet for a while? And Food Beauty? They couldn't keep to it because it's too hard to do. It's too difficult to check that everything that you eat is vegan, because I feel, it's just too difficult. I don't personally think a vegan diet is healthy. I know some of you might disagree, but I don't think it's healthy. At least from what I see on YouTube and things like that, these really avid vegan followers of raw foods and stuff like that, to me they all look a little malnourished. Very skinny, hollow sort of eyes, pale skin. It's not something I would follow for the health benefit. It's just some squash. But yeah, I don't really understand that thing that people have with it. I don't think I think it's kind of a diet that's for people that are a little privileged in a way. Like, they have the money, they have the time to focus on it. That's just what I see anyway. Superseded bread from Tesco. It's quite good. Ooh, yes, another yolky egg. Oh, that's delish. I don't know if you can see, but super yolky. That was a good bite. The pop of fresh coriander in there as well. I think I was really hungry before I ate as well. So we're just really enjoying this right now. I'm sorry if I seem a bit over the top, but I am in love with this dish. There's also that carnivore diet. I feel like the people who follow, like, who are really strict about these diets are all a little strange. Not because of the diet they follow, I mean the actual characters. They're all just a little strange. A little too hardcore for my liking. Like when you look at the carnivore diet, which again I don't think is a healthy diet, another extreme. And they'll eat, I think a lot of them try the raw food carnivore diet. I hope you enjoy having tapeworms. But that guy who eats like raw pig heads and stuff like that. I'm sorry, but I don't think I'd want any diet where I think I can get parasites, and what's so difficult about cooking your food? And on the channel, what these really hardcore carnivores do is basically crap on everyone else. Like vegans, they definitely can't stand them. Like it's two extremes versus each other. I don't think I'd ever see peace between those two communities. But they always have something against people who cook their food. I mean, they want to follow like a caveman sort of diet, but it's like fires and we cook our food. That's how we are. That's how we stay healthy as well. If you go to other countries where they can't cook their food or they can't access clean water and things like that, you get disease, and it's just common sense. I don't see that. Even if it does give you a few extra benefits eating it raw, I don't think that benefit outweighs the risk. I don't want to get tapeworm. I don't want to get parasites trying to just follow some random diet. I want to try just like a bite of it like this. Oh, can you see? I hope you can see the yolk. It's so good. When that yolk mixes into the tomato. Ooh, I think another thing I really love, you know when you're eating eggs and beans, like fried eggs and beans, and it's got a really nice runny yolk, and the yolk mixes into the beans. Ooh, don't think there's anything better. I think a runny yolk could just be the thing that stops me from ever becoming vegan. It's not a lifestyle I'd ever consider anyway, but oh, so good. And there's so many wild vegans out there. I mean, you can have your views and follow it quietly. And then there's people like Freely, the banana girl, who basically seems to hate humans. I don't know, that's the impression I get from her. She aborted her own baby without really giving it a second thought. And I'm not saying this to show my views on abortion. I don't know whether I agree or disagree with it, to be honest, because I understand both sides equally. I think it just depends on the situation, maybe. I don't know. I don't really want to say what my views on it are, because I'm not even sure entirely where I lie on the matter. But I think one thing I didn't like about Freely, but amongst many other things anyway, was the way she kind of viewed her abortion. Like, that was nothing to her. It was... But she's always going on about other animals and things like that. How we should eat just fruit and veg and things like that. I think she thinks she's being really good for the environment. But I think one thing I find hypocritical there is that her diet, she's eating fruits that have been exported in from around the country, around the globe, you know, that in itself is going to have a big impact on the environment if you're exporting things from miles and miles away every time you want to eat every single day, you know. But she doesn't think about her own impact. And I'm not saying this like we don't have an impact either. I think we all impact the environment in some ways, but don't act like you're one step above everyone because you follow this diet. You might not be affecting animals directly when you're eating them, but you're still affecting them indirectly because of your diet. It's either way, we're going to have some sort of impact on the environment. Don't act like you're above everyone else just because you don't eat meat or eggs and things like that. I think that's what frustrates me about these hardcore vegans. I understand there's a lot out there who mind their own business, but the hardcore ones, you should also look at the impact you're having yourself. When we think of how much fuel it must take to import all these fruits, if everyone turned to veganism, think about the impact that would have exporting. Because without a doubt, if everyone turned vegan or a massive population turned vegan, there's going to be a high demand for fruits and vegetables and things like that, without a doubt, which is going to mean you're going to be importing more. There's going to be more ships, more planes out. I don't know exactly how it all works, but there's going to be more fuel involved. That in itself is going to have a massive impact. I think this is on my mind right now because I was watching Our Planet on Netflix, you know, with David Attenborough. By the way, one of my favourite people. I think his documentaries are amazing. And a lot of people were saying about Our Planet, the reason they didn't like it was, not disliked it, but a gripe they had with it was that he seemed to talk too much about the issues going on. And it kind of made people feel bad, you know, guilty and things like that. But I thought that was really important because it's all well and good to show, you know, the beauty of our planet and stuff like that. And it really is, like, I love watching it. And although it makes you feel bad to see the negative aspects, I think it's important to know about it too. One thing I found really shocking was when he was showing the effect, like how much ice has gone from the North and South Pole. Like in summer, he said the amount of ice there has reduced by around 40% compared to 1980, which is so much in such a little time, and it's impacting these animals so badly. I mean, and it was following walruses. I was talking about them, and it was showing like hundreds of thousands of these walruses all crammed together on one little beach. And I mean, when I say crammed, I mean they're sitting on top of each other pretty much like that. There's just too many. And it got to a point where these walruses were climbing 80-metre cliffs to try to find a place which isn't occupied, because every little inch was completely packed with walruses. They showed an overhead view with a drone, and it was insane when you see it. And the reason for that is because the ice is disappearing. Walruses normally rest on the ice, then they hunt, and then they come back to the ice and they rest there. but because there's so little ice, they're having to travel hundreds of miles away to try and find a place where they can rest, which was on land, and that was the only place they could find. So every day, or whenever they wanted to eat, they had to travel 100 miles, get some food, and then 100 miles back, which was exhausting them. And there were thousands of dead walruses on these beaches as well, because they were dying of exhaustion, falling off these cliffs and things like that, because they're not meant to be climbing, they're not meant to be in that sort of environment. And of course that's due to the planet heating up and things like that. Because of the fuels we use, how we cut down trees and things like that, it all has an impact whether you see it or not. And I think it's important to know that. When you litter on beaches and things like that, it's going to kill something sooner or later. It's going to impact something. It might make you feel bad to see it, but that's the only way you're going to make a change. If outside, out of mind. That's how I see it. And it was so sad, like so many walruses just falling. It was insane. But yeah, when you get all these fruits imported, that's using fuel, what do you think that's going to contribute to? Do you really think your diet isn't having some sort of impact anyway? I'm not saying this to point fingers or say anyone is better than the next. I'm not. We all have that impact. I'm just saying, don't see yourself as perfect. Don't hate others because of your own view. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what you follow, there's still going to be some negative impacts there. And that's what I disliked about Fuyu. She doesn't think about how her actions are affecting others. And I'm not saying I do. I'm really not. Please don't see it that way. Because I know I do things that would have some sort of impact. Like, everyone does, but just don't be an asshole with it. Anyway, I think I've made my point. I'm not going to keep going on with it. I honestly didn't think I would eat all that. I thought I'd probably end up eating 2 of the eggs and be done. That's just so good. I don't even feel stuffed, I just feel comfortably full. Maybe because I ate too fast. That was really, really good. I really recommend you check out my shack recipe because you will be Shakshuka. Sorry. Don't dislike my video because of that. I'm sorry. Anyway, if you liked the video, please do leave a like, subscribe, click that notification bell. I'll hopefully be uploading as regularly as I can. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the mukbang anyway, and I hope you have a really good day as well. Don't take anything of what I say too seriously, by the way. I'm not aiming blame at anyone. I'm not trying to be argumentative or cause drama or anything like this for anything I say. It's just what I think at the time, I just say it. That's all. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely day.